This is Brian, and welcome back to this commentary playthrough of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. We're still making our way through the Doom Castle here. And yeah, I was kind of thinking, hopefully maybe we can finish it up today. And then I'll give a short review and kind of talk about what we're going to do next. But if it does end up taking too long, well, we'll end up just doing that tomorrow. Because I don't really remember if there's another floor after this one, or if you just go straight to the final boss, basically. That will be kind of what makes a determination for how long it'll take us here. Okay, well, that's just a dead end there. Can I go through this part, though? Yeah. Go all the way over to the end here. I guess let's just get that while we're here. Yeah, so when I did start this playthrough, I noticed that my last save file had a playtime of like 16 hours or something. And we're at like 12 and a half or something, I think. So I don't know how I got it that high. Unless, like, I had put the controller down a few times and paused it while I went to do something else. I don't know. Okay, this gets me back on top here. I guess let's just finish that one off first. That's basically exactly what I was hoping for there. That he might get a critical and finish that guy off. Don't usually get what I'm hoping for, though. Alrighty. Okay, yeah, this goes to the boss. I think there were a few areas that I missed that I could have gone to the other side for, so I will check that out after I beat him on my way out of here. Fastest way out of here might be to fall back down to the volcano layer level and walk out of there. But I guess it's not like it takes forever to get out of here. I'll just have them both attack the Thanatos, because yeah, Fred should finish him. And Fred should finish this guy off. And yeah, I guess there's really no reason to be stingy in my items at this point. What's this called? Not just Pazuzu, right? It's Zoo, I guess, or And again, try my powerful spells and see how they do. I don't know. He doesn't really need healing, but I don't think it should get her full anyway. And that should finish off the Chimera. Oh, that's an Earth-based attack. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's that spell. Test them all out. Yeah, that wasn't the strongest. That's that thing where he repels my magic now. Same as Pazuzu. That's fine. Physical attack did about as well as magic anyway. Yeah, okay. Nice to see the miss there. Yeah, it really wasn't that long ago that we fought the first form of this guy. Well, we're getting there. Yeah, okay, thank you. You can use that one all you want, I don't really care. One that kills me off, though. I really like that one. Okay, let's backtrack. Yeah, that didn't go anywhere. This didn't go anywhere. Yeah, there are still some enemies in that underneath area like this on the bottom level, though, it looked like. Yeah, right underneath here. Got a couple of them there. Probably doesn't look like it's going to lead to anything. This go anywhere? That was just to the top of that, okay. I think that was how I got to this point. You can go over there. I guess I don't really see what that's for. I think this, yeah, this is the part that just comes around to front of his platform there. And that just goes to a dead end over there. So let's just take care of these two guys and call it good for this part. Part of the castle it is, that is, not the part of the playthrough. Probably better heal up. I think I've even seen one of those shadow guys on this floor. Okay, he's still hit. Yeah. It's Fred that misses there. And this just all loops around. Oh, no, I didn't really mean to do that, but we were done up there anyway. And before I go blindly forward, we better heal up. Yeah. Wasted one, but I have plenty anyway. Hey, kind of seems like this is just going to be, oh. I don't really remember what happens here. That statue of my guy. Fred, Phoebe, Knights of Light. We crystals now entrust you with our power. Okay, well, it gives me access to these treasures, which are what? Ah. Is that all it's going to be? It's just regular items? Yeah, I guess it couldn't really be much of anything else. 25 seeds, that's a pretty good haul. And this probably would have been 25 also, but I don't need that many. Kind of creepy. Your eyes in the background there. And yeah, I think this is the final boss. Let's get it on. Dark King, we meet at last. Indeed. And now you will serve me. I don't think so. We won't allow you to ruin our world. Alas, silly humans. I must share a terrible secret. That prophecy? Ages ago, I started that rumor. Welcome to the power of darkness. So, yeah, kind of a weird-looking Dark King. Well, let's start with the most powerful spells. That did decent. Yeah, that's a pretty tough attack from him, too. Don't think I'll heal yet, though. Still not gonna heal. Okay. Now I'll try to heal her, unless he finishes her off. How amusing! Is that all you can muster? Ah, so he changes forms. What's he got? 6 arms, each holding a sword? Kind of like a Gilgamesh character in later games, I think looks kind of like that. And that took care of the paralyze, it looks like. Yeah. He's as big as like 3 enemies would have been normally. Ah. he does a drain, basically, it looked like. Although, gave him back more life than it took from Phoebe, so I'm not sure exactly how that works. Grr. No, I see what I really am. Or, now see what I really am. It's always got to be a spider. Oh, what's that? Okay. I'll have him try and heal, and I'll just have her attack because, yeah, his heal should go up soon enough, I thought. Oh no. Well, poison and confusion would suck. One thing I don't understand, though, I guess, is if these bosses and enemies later in the game are using these status effects that we're immune to, especially if both of our characters are immune to them, does that mean that there's a possibility that we could not have some of the armor that I picked up? I suppose you could just not open the chest if you want to do more of a challenge run. Doesn't really strike me as much of a fun type of playthrough, but to each his own. That's a different color spider web. And it's petrified. Yeah. Got me down pretty low, though. We'll do that again here. Yeah. Figured Fred would need it. And he's changing again. Now he looks more like an octopus. Weird. Got one more white spell for her. We should be okay. Ah, damn it. Oh. Could be in trouble here. Okay. And do we have to start all the way over? Yeah, we do. Well, I suppose that means the moral of the story is make sure you're keeping pretty much full health. It might pay off to have one character being basically a dedicated healer in that last, assuming that was his last phase. And at least the battles in this game aren't that long. Like in some of the newer games, your final boss might take like a half hour to beat, or longer. I can just keep attacking here yet, I think, because I'm not too worried about the attacks he does in this form. Well, then again, it does all come down to timing. It's like that, yeah. Damn it. I'm not being careful enough still. Either she'll get to go before he hits her and she'll cure herself, or she'll die and I'll have to use life. Yeah. Kind of what I thought. one of the few times it seems like that we got to go before him. Okay, now he's switching forms, so I better make sure that I stay fully healed. I'll probably dedicate Phoebe to healing. Got 39 white magic casts, so... Oh, damn it. He's not immune to his confusion, though. Yet. He'll take care of that? Yeah. And that shouldn't bother him too bad, other than the HP. Just in case that happens again, though, maybe I'll switch and I'll have him try to be the healer. And he also does seem to be more likely to attack first, or to get his turn first. That might take her out. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't really know how I can avoid that. If he gets 2 turns in a row and he can kill her in 2 turns. Same thing here. If he does one of his big attacks before I get a chance to heal, he'll take one of us out again. Good. Okay. And he's not in the final form yet. Well, what I had assumed to be the final form. And yeah, of course, then my heal goes off first. At least that wasn't a very strong attack. I think I'm gonna chance... well, maybe I'll just switch, because if anything, Fred's the only one that'll probably get to go before the attack goes off from the boss here. Okay, yeah, so now that heal will help get us back to full. Yeah. We can stay on a pattern like this, I should be okay. Alright. Here's where he finished me off last time. Uh-oh. Is that it? I think we got him. Alrighty. Phoebe was confused about the whole situation. Yes, yes. We defeated the Dark King. Last, it's all over. There's Weirdo that's been guiding us around. Disguised as a human, I, the Crystal of Light, have guided you. Evil can't thrive if you keep hope alive. Use your courage and respect your world. Bright future awaits you now. Go and enjoy all the world has to offer. Thank you. Alright, let's see what kind of an ending they give us here. Back at Windia. Otto's place, right? Yeah. Fred, you say the Dark King was the problem and you beat him? But of course. Say, what's become of Reuben and Captain Mac? They're fine. They've already headed home. Great. Sometime I'll drop by and say hi. Say, did we just ditch Phoebe, or did she head to her own home on her own, I guess? Yeah, there's Captain Mac and Kaylee now. You're safe. What are you going to do now? Hey, maybe you can answer that, Mac. How about lending me that ship? I need a little more adventure in my life. Don't worry, Kaylee. Alright, but let me see if it's still seaworthy. Don't forget your cap again. So is Mac coming with us? Maybe he'll steer the ship for us. Spencer, you still digging? Yep, all because of you guys. Anybody seen Tristan? That jerk. He's gone treasure hunting again. Well, tell him I said hi. Reuben's playing with the band. How's it going? Reuben, couldn't be better. Why don't we hang out in this town? No way, I'm off for more adventures in Captain Mac's ship. At least let me see you off. The ship's better than new. Thanks, Mac. 3 cheers for Captain Fred. Wait until you see my next invention. Can you come over again? Have a good trip. Do it up while you're young. I think I've had all the adventure I can stand. How about taking me along? You'll need an expert treasure hunter. You don't know what you're saying, Grandpa. You'll be back in no time. See the world for me. We're going to miss you. Did she reach out and kiss him? I don't look like it. I'm going to miss you too. Farewell. The women are the ones that are saddest to see him go, huh? Okay. Is it just sailing off into the distance? Is that the ending here? I suppose credits will roll. Oh, no, we're not done yet. That's like Tristan's music. How do you get on board? What are you doing here? I can't resist it when I hear about an adventure. I'm gonna keep an eye on you, kid. That's Fred, you nut. That's as far as they could go to being mean to somebody, I guess, calling them a nut. We'll watch the credits here. Yep, Ted Woolsey again. I swear that guy translated most of these old games. I suppose if that was just his job, that's just what he did, huh? Well, if it's just giving credits here, I think that's probably the end. It's not going to show any more scenes. So I'll just go ahead and start giving a short review here. I just took a few notes of things I wanted to mention about the game. First, we'll talk about some things that I enjoyed about it, that I like. And overall, I think this is still a pretty good game. I don't know if I would rank it up there compared to some of the regular mainline Final Fantasy games. And I think I mentioned when I started it that it doesn't really feel like a Final Fantasy game other than in name. I mean, yeah, they have some of the staple tropes, like you have crystals and all that. But I mean, I don't think Final Fantasy is the only game that ever did the elements and stuff like that. A lot of RPGs go on that type of theme. It is a really easy game, and it's really easy to play. You can probably call that you can probably consider that to be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on your perspective. Like, you might think that it's too easy, so it isn't any fun because of that if you like to challenge yourself. But I also think it's a great game that you can just play and pick up if you just want to relax and kind of, I don't know, like, not worry about getting too intense and worried about finishing a game or getting killed off. And I mean, you do get game overs, but you just get the option to try that battle again, so not like you really have consequences for losing. Unless you were just severely underleveled to the point where you couldn't beat an enemy, even if it gave you multiple tries. But I don't think I've ever encountered that. Yeah, there we have it, the end. So I don't think the screen will change past that. We do have some seagull noises going on there. So, yeah, other than the ease of the game, but I do find that it is a very relaxing playthrough because of it being easy, so I enjoy that. If you have something that you just have I don't know, you play it for an hour or two and relax and go on to something else. The next thing is the combat system is really simple with the combat and magic, and it makes it, I mean, that kind of adds into the ease of play, but it's easy to just pick up and get into it without having, to go through tutorials or any of that, or having to figure out really how the mechanics work. So I appreciate that in an older game like this. Some games, I mean, you have so much tutorial that you can spend like a half hour just reading through the game, or, how to play it in the beginning. Or you have an area where they have characters giving you dialogue for tutorials. A lot of these really old games didn't really have much of that, although I've noticed in different releases and remakes, ports of even like the original NES Final Fantasy games, they did eventually put some rooms in there where they just added NPCs that would do tutorial dialogue for you. But in the original versions, they just kind of expected you to either read the instruction manual that came with the game or just figure it out yourself, I guess. They didn't have the internet back when those came out, or at least not to the point where it is today, so couldn't just look up an FAQ. Oh, what else do we have good to say about it? Well, you just have a main character, and it's fine to just have one lead character. Some of the games that you get into have too many characters almost, I think. But I liked the way that you have a cast of characters that just kind of swap in and out. So it gives you a little bit of variety while just having your main character to worry about. And I did put it on manual control for them, but you could have left them on auto, where they'd just be like a companion that's just there to help you, but you're not controlling them at all. So, depending on your playstyle, I consider that to be a good thing, at least. The items that you find in the game, there wasn't a shortage on any of that. Like, other than the siege, which I did end up buying some, and I might have bought some other stuff, but you didn't really ever have to buy any of those items, like cures and heals, because you'd find so many of them in treasures throughout the dungeons, at least if you were thorough and tried to get all that stuff. And if you didn't go through them as thoroughly as I did, I could see where you could maybe be a little underleveled by the end. But I've always found that I like to play thoroughly and do all that stuff, and it just makes the leveling stay pretty consistent. I mean, by the end, I was like 3 or 4 levels ahead of Phoebe, so I probably was a little higher leveled than maybe they had intended, but I didn't go out of my way to fight extra battles. I just cleared the battlefields and cleared all the enemies in every dungeon. So I think I might have refought 2 or 3 battles if I accidentally exited an area or came back through an area. So, yeah, overall, I consider that to be pretty balanced and pretty good. Another thing that I really enjoyed, and probably my last mostly positive point, not that I have too much negative to say, but I did like the weapon variety that they put in. Even though it was really simple, I liked the utility that you have for weapons outside of battle. It was a nice touch to make it so that your claws helped you climb walls or else hookshot across gaps, where you had to like use the axe to cut down trees or mushrooms, use the sword to poke into different areas, and use the bombs to blow up walls. I thought that was a pretty cool way to add in something kind of, I don't know, make it more than just like a dungeon crawling type of walk and fight battle type of thing, you know? But let's move on to some of the more negatives. I already discussed the fact that it is so easy could be considered a negative too. Some people think of it as more of a baby type of game, and I think the way I described it is it is meant to be like an RPG for beginners. Like this would be your first RPG to play, and it'd be a good way to start getting into the genre, maybe, in a game like this. And because of that, that kind of leads into another thing that I suppose I'd call a negative. It is a pretty short game. I kind of wish they would have fleshed out a little bit more. Like you could have had more dungeons maybe in each area. Because it seems like the way they did it, you basically had a mini dungeon and a main dungeon in each of the 4 quadrants of the game. And then you had the focus tower, Doom Castle at the end. That was about it. Those temples that they put into different areas were basically all you did was you went in there and there was either a crest tile to warp you somewhere else, or there was just like a couple of treasures and nothing else in there. I feel like they could have done more with that to maybe flesh it out a little more and kind of just add the game a little bit. I don't know though. Some people are looking for a nice short game like that, so that's just my personal preference, saying I wish it could have been a little longer. The battlefields that you cleared out to get experience and to get different items, those could become very monotonous. I get it that that was their way to compensate for not having random enemy encounters, but usually when you were in a battlefield, it was either like all 10 of the battles were just the same enemy, but maybe different numbers of them in a battle, or there were only 2 enemy types in a battlefield, and that was pretty much all of them. So they could have added a little bit more variety, I suppose. It would have helped it a little bit. At least most of them didn't take too long, though. Because a lot of the enemies, if you were fighting all of those battlefields and leveling up as you went, you could one-shot a lot of the enemies, so it was pretty quick. It just, yeah, especially when you had, like in Fireburg, where there were so many of the battlefields, it did get a little old taking all those out. But then again, didn't have to. So I suppose there is that too. Another thing is, and I know this is part of the limitation of the SNES also, but I felt like the story wasn't very fleshed out. Like it was very simplistic. You didn't get a lot. Like you didn't know much about the characters or any of that. You didn't get a lot of progression as far as what their motivations were and different things. It was, yeah, we're trying to save the world and these people are just nice and are going to help us. So I do have a slight gripe with that. The last thing I want to mention, and I did mention it a few times as it was happening throughout the game, the gameplay, was status effects that enemies can inflict on you. Some of that just got very annoying because it's not like it was going to give you a game over. Because like I said, even if you had bad luck and got wiped out, you could just choose to do the fight again. So yeah, like when they were either confusing us or paralyzing us and you had to wait for turns, quite a few turns for that to heal itself, or for a character to wake up from sleep or stuff like that. This got kind of annoying. Especially the characters, the enemies that could do instant death attacks. Yeah, I don't think something like that necessarily makes a game harder. It just makes it annoying. So that's probably my least favorite thing in the game. So yeah, I mean, I've played through this game a few times, and I've always enjoyed it. I'd still rank it up there as far as one of my top games on the SNES. But I mean, there were a lot of games that I put on my list from that system. So take that as you will. It wouldn't be a game that I would put in the top of the overall Final Fantasy, but it wouldn't be one of my least favorites either. But yeah, that's about all I have to say about Mystic Quest. I'm going to keep going now with the regular mainline Final Fantasy games, so we're going to make our way up to Final Fantasy IV, which, when I played it in the US, it was Final Fantasy II, because, well, we didn't get the regular 2 or 3 on the SNES, so it was the next one I played after the original one. So it is pretty... I do have quite a bit of nostalgia for it for that reason. The version I'm going to play is the regular SNES version that initially came out in the United States. I have heard that there are different versions of it that are more difficult. Like even the Japanese version that initially came out for the SNES was apparently more difficult, but they kind of dumbed it down a little for the US as far as difficulty. Because, well, yeah, that's part of the reason why they didn't bring 2 and 3 over here, is because they didn't think that the Western audience could handle those games. Which, it's a little annoying to me, but it is what it is at this point. And as far as different remakes and ports, I've heard that the 3D one, which I have played through, and I guess I would agree, is the most difficult version. The last time I played through it, I think I played through it on the PSP, which, that game, if you bought that, that includes the original game, plus the after years and interlude. I played through interlude, which is just a short in between the games type of thing. And after years, I never made it all the way through it, because I just lost interest at some point. It wasn't terrible, but it just didn't draw me in. But we'll pick that up and start tomorrow with Final Fantasy IV. Anyway, if you've been enjoying the content so far, please like, comment, and subscribe or follow. And we'll catch you next time.